Alright guys, let's talk about the truth in Valorant, and we're gonna be talking about player count in Valorant today. So that's a pretty interesting topic actually, and why is that? Well, I don't think the player count is what you would expect. It's kind of lower. Now I have a few theories on this, and there's two pretty much important ones. If it was bigger than CSGO, so it's definitely smaller than CSGO right now, they would be bragging about it. They would be rubbing into CSGO, into Steam's faces, like, we have more players than Valorant within CSGO itself, and we've been only just getting started and stuff like that. And I think after hype, it really fell down. Now, I think this is a game that will last for at least 5 to 10 years. This has like a lot of potential, a lot of YouTubers actually coming in. And there's like really a lot of things that could be improved in Valorant, really. It's still kind of in beta, I would say. Definitely still needs a lot of work. So one pretty good theory I have, to be honest, is that, well, there aren't a lot of YouTubers out there yet that are pretty much big. Most of them have like about 20k to 100k. I'm guessing like 70k is where it's capped. Sure, CSGO has been around like for 5 years now, but if we look at it, it's really not that big of a player base, to be honest. It's like 10k views per video. Sure, that's good. That's actually really great, but it doesn't go more than that. Simply the reason that Valorant is a pretty played game, it just isn't as played as CSGO, for example. CSGO gets like 500,000 views per video, even 100 at least, like just for skin videos, which is like a niche for itself. And I want to read this article out here. So it's support from the developers of League of Legends. It's no surprise, blah blah blah. So nobody actually knows how many players there is in Valorant, but I think the number is far lower than you would expect for now. I'm not saying the game isn't going to grow for the next 1 to 2 years, but right now it's not that big. There are no official numbers released by Riot Games when it comes to Valorant's current player count. Like CSGO has that. CSGO that has that for every game. Riot did release some specifically for a closed beta, which ended May 28th. Well, that's a long time, so this doesn't really count. In the press release, the studio stated that nearly 3 million players logged on each day to play Valorant. 3 million players during its 2-month beta testing period. Okay, that's a lot of people. Nearly 3 million people each day. That's like, I think that's the same as CSGO at the time, but now I would say it's 500k or something like that. Definitely below 3 million, maybe even like 300k. Maybe like before it was super hyped, everybody wanted it, but right now like the hype is kind of over. Keep in mind that closed beta was limited to only a few regions, including North America and Europe, and was exclusive to PC. Okay, that's yeah. If it comes to console, it's gonna be over for CS:GO. You could only access the closed beta by receiving key drops. Well, everyone got key drops in the end, you know. And the beta testing period was open at the time. Players had to tune in to people streaming the game on Twitch in hopes of receiving an invite. And Valorant is now open to Korea, Japan, Asia Pacific, Europe, Turkey, MENA, Russia, CIS countries, North America, Latin, and South America. It's likely that Valorant even has more players than it did during the closed beta, but the only time will tell how many players that end up being the launch hype dies down, right? So guys, the best way is actually looking at Twitch, right? So CSGO is on top, just chatting is like really popular right now, but that's only because you have so many streams over here. That's one really good way to couch at it. League of Legends always been there. Warzone, one of the most popular games. Fortnite, Dota, Fall Guys. Okay, Fall Guys definitely has a lot of potential. Grand Theft Auto, which has been, you know, for years here. World of Warcraft, and then we have Valorant, right? So it's kind of surprising they have the same viewers as Dead by Daylight and Minecraft. So there's definitely still some player base over here. But if we look at Teamfight Tactics, like Teamfight Tactics was supposed to be a small game, and it has half the viewers Valorant has. So it's a bit more played than Apex Legends, according to Twitch. Then again, it all depends, you know, if pro players are playing. So for example, Hiko is playing, and he's bringing like 19k viewers over here. If we continue this article over here, one way to gauge it is how you can see, you know, the Twitch streamers, and the game has had 34 million hours watched with a peak viewership around something of 1.7 million. I guess that's okay, but they really brag a lot with this. I mean, well, impressive. The fact that people binged in Twitch in an attempt to get a closed beta key means that, you know, there's people just botting, basically, or being fake, you know, or not really watching. Valorant is still hitting large numbers on Twitch, yes and no. Look at this. The game is now 6th in the current viewer ranking, now it's like 10th or 11th. Trailing more established games like CSGO, Dota, and Fortnite. On June 10th, there were a little of 7. Yeah, that's how many views there are per hour now, compared to that 1 million peak at its 2 months ago. So it dropped so much, you know. This dropped way too much, you know what I mean? Look at this. Bam. It's dropping here. This is like the top, and this is like dropping, almost nothing during, because it was like closed off, right? And then a bit more players on launch. I guess Valorant, that game, some in competitive gaming and esports communities have mocked Valorant for its sudden drop in Twitch viewing chatters. That's pretty normal when you get 1 million viewers. It's not going to be consistent, but the bulk of the that game rants came from CSGO fans. That's true, I guess. Riot has reportedly reached out to over 100 esport entities, so they're starting esports, including tournament organizers and competing organizations. While nothing has been revealed to the public, they're basically starting esports, right? It seems as though these organizations in esport industry insiders have faith in Riot's plans, since many big names have already started creating their new teams in anticipation. So that's one thing to consider. Overwatch League's most valuable player also left the scene to join Valorant, making a definite case that he sees future in the game. Why else give a $150,000 contract to play a game which you Ryan MVP? So Valorant isn't that game. Well, you have to consider after esports comes out, right? This is gonna be like huge. This is gonna be the next level. After Valorant get esports, and after it comes out to mobile and console, this is it. This is game over for other games, probably. It's already getting few viewers right now. It's like kind of a slump. But if we look at the player count, I would say it's like 500,000, something like that. If it had before like 3 million, it definitely is at something like 300,000 players daily. That 300,000 and maybe 500,000 for a peak. It's definitely 100% lower at CSGO. So if I look up for CSGO player count over here, and I click on this, you can actually see 774,000. And it's that kind of dropped during Valorant and then went back up, right? It just didn't switch at all, and that's crazy. That's a lot. Valorant definitely does not have this type of player base. It probably has like 200,000, to be honest. And CSGO is dominating right now, but CSGO again has esports, to be fair, and that's why they're doing so good. Okay, so before I stop the video, I just want to give a shout out to DC3 Johnson. Be sure to check him out. He makes Madden, UFC videos, and definitely be sure to check him out. I think his videos are pretty nice. If you're interested in that type of king, good luck to you. Thanks for sponsoring this video. Anyway, let me know what you think of my video, and this Fanman sign out. Peace, guys.